Oh man, we rolling,
Oh man, we're back.
rolling. I like that song.
I mean, it's whatever.
All right, bro. Come on, man. Don't start like that.
Yeah.
Is it because of what women want?
Man, so when you pitched me the idea of what women want, I was so excited because I remember the trailer from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And you said a lot of ridiculous stuff happened, so I was like, I'm prepared to have a great time. And bro, this was a bad movie.
It's a very bad movie.
This was a not good movie.
I like it.
You're wrong. It was so bad. I had to look up the writers of the movie. The writers was this lady named Kathy Yuspa and Josh Goldstein.
Kathy and Josh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm calling you.
My boy is calling you out by name. I didn't want to do this, but okay. I respect it. I respect my man.
It's either Kathy. We talked about it. Either Kathy got noted to death by some studio who really didn't understand women.
Okay.
Or she does not like women.
Okay.
That's the only way I see it, man. It's not a good movie. It's not a pro-feminist movie, I think.
Let me ask you, what of course keep talking, but what did I hit? What did I miss?
Okay. So like now that we've been doing it for a second, I've noticed the stuff you kind of miss.
Okay.
In the sense that like the suicidal girl, who's Judy Greer, who's like a famous person, which completely neglected to mention. I thought I would not recognize her, right? In the beginning, you said that like Mel Gibson bumps into her and the camera stays on her for a little bit and you get the sense that she's important. And I don't feel like that really happens. I think that's a result of you watching the movie so many times. Because you've seen this at least knowing you at least 10, 15 times.
Oh yeah, it's that good.
Yeah, shut up. That
Sorry, Kathy.
you put that on her. You know what? You added your own sort of interpretation to that scene. I think Mel Gibson bumps into her, runs past her because she's supposed to be invisible, and that's the whole point. She's invisible to even you at the beginning, and then you find out that she's. I get the idea of her, but it's too melodramatic.
Why is she so? What's happening?
Also, suicidal people don't think like that all the time.
Are they also thinking like, man, I need to get groceries or other,
yeah,
like this,
right? Like I gotta go to the bathroom, or who is this asshole that ran into me? Like they're not like this asshole ran into me, and that's why the world should die. No,
I should be in outer space.
Yeah,
like, bitch, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was great. Like every time they showed her thought, she was never thinking, like, oh man, you know, my shoes hurt.
Yeah, right. Like, man, I need some lunch. Like.
I had Chipotle yesterday. I don't want Chipotle again.
There wasn't any like nuanced thought.
Yeah.
But the reason why I brought up the writers is because I was like, what else did they write, right? And remember how in the beginning when you were telling me how this reminds you of 13 Going on 30?
Yeah.
They wrote 13 Going on 30.
I'm that nigga, dog. Come on, bro. Tell me, yo. I said 13 Going on 30 is a superhero movie, and what women want is also a superhero movie, and they're very much alike.
They're written by the same people. Same writing team.
I called that.
That's mainly why I brought them up. I didn't realize I was also shitting on them when I brought them up, but it was more to be like they wrote this. You know, you called that. You nailed that.
Yo, it's nuts. The same movie.
Is it? It's 13 Going on 30. Would I hate 13 Going on 30 like I hated this?
Well, I mean, I watched 13 Going on 30 like 10 times. It's great.
Oh God, you're no help.
It's great. What are you talking about? It's great. Boys in the Hood's great.
I did some of the comedy I did enjoy.
Like what?
When Mel Gibson is the whole dancing scene where he's putting on the makeup.
The Frank Sinatra one or the girls? The
first one.
The Frank Sinatra one.
Yeah, no, when he's dancing to "I'm a Bitch."
Oh, so like right after that scene.
Yeah, yeah. Right before he gets his powers.
Yeah.
With him like mumbling.
Before he gets his powers.
right when he's like mumbling to himself, I thought was very funny. And then when he doesn't fall in the water, but he gets up and trips on like the bath balls or whatever, and then falls in the water.
Yes.
That's funny.
That is funny.
That's classic trope. That's like, you guys use that very well.
Yeah.
There were some parts that made me laugh.
Mel Gibson showed some comedy. Showed some comedy chops.
I was impressed. I didn't be like, oh, okay. This is some comedy chops. This is not.
Well, what did you think of the Marissa Tomei whole gay scene? Like where did that come from? Did you see, you know what I'm talking about?
It's just, what the fuck? Do you remember what she says at the end of that scene?
What?
If you ever turn back to not being gay, call me first. I'm telling you, man, women don't come out good in this movie at all. At all. What the fuck? Like, she says that the fact that the main love interest is his boss at a new job trying to fuck him after she broke up and left her old job because she married a dude there.
Yep.
Like, there's zero character growth in the entire film.
I know.
There's no character growth. None of the characters change. Mel Gibson is still a dick. It's not like he learns to be more sensitive. He just learns how to manipulate women better.
True.
You know what I mean? And this is my favorite part. So, well, I have a couple favorite parts. Right? Okay, so like, what I mean by that, like, there's a scene where he's like crying to daytime TV.
Yes.
It's
like, yeah.
Yeah, he's not understanding them. He's just mimicking their stereotypes.
Yeah.
There's no like deeper level of understanding. Also, he's not actually a woman, so why would he cry to daytime TV?
True. Yeah.
He doesn't. You know what I mean?
God, that scene was so bad. That was a bad scene.
That was a bad scene. There's one scene, this is crazy. So you know how his one of his assistants has that Argentinian boyfriend or whatever?
I don't think I mentioned that.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah, like she's like dealing with like phone calls from like
from Argentina.
Argentina, yeah.
There's a scene right before the big Nike pitch, right? The Argentinian boyfriend hands Mel Gibson a yarmulke. And Mel says, "Thanks for the yarmulke." And the Argentinian boyfriend says, "Yeah, you wear it well."
What's that about?
I don't know. It almost seems like some Jewish writer was like, "Oh, I'm gonna shit on you, Mel Gibson. I know how you feel about stuff. So here, hold this yarmulke." He held it in his hand.
I don't even remember that scene.
I mean,
Is it really quick?
Yeah, because it makes no sense in the film.
Okay. Well, a lot of the film makes no sense.
I mean, my God, you're right. They didn't have any ending for it.
How about literally my next question was, hey Ehsan, how did What Women Want end?
I don't remember. I watched the movie intently. I took fucking notes on the entire movie, and I have no idea how it ends. I stopped. I rewatched parts of it. Zero clue how it ends.
I know you told me you at one point you were like, "Oh God, I haven't been paying attention for a while."
I am watching it and I'm not paying attention. I'm staring through it.
Nancy Myers, what happened, man? Yo, what went wrong on this one?
Yo, the scene where she's trying out dresses, they were like,
it's like 30 minutes.
You know what girls like? Christina Aguilera. And trying on dresses. So let's play What a Girl Wants in its entirety.
The whole song.
The entire song. While they try on dresses.
Oh my God, they play that whole song, dog.
The Suicide Girl has a waterbed.
Yep.
Which is just a weird decision to make because you notice it because Mel Gibson jumps on the bed, it's all water.
It's all water, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, and it's like maybe you would feel better if you got like a full night's sleep on a good bed. I thought that.
Yeah, you are 45.
Yeah,
however old she was. She was
25.
25.
Yeah, I looked up her age during the time. I was like, I wonder how old Suicide Lady is.
She was 25.
25.
Yeah, get a bed.
Yeah, you're an adult.
You have a real job. You have a job.
You have a job. Yeah, there's no need for you to live in like the back alley of Chinatown. That's also like what?
Yo, what was up with the magical China lady?
Yeah!
I told you, I don't understand the magical China lady.
My favorite part is that the magical China lady gives him an umbrella and then 2 seconds later takes it away.
Yeah. I don't know what it's about.
For no reason.
Don't know. I guess it's so he could lose his power. She knew, I guess.
Yeah, she was the magical Chinese lady. She was like, "Oh, I know what's happening."
Nancy, what the fuck did you do in this movie?
Oh, here's another good part. Before the big Nike pitch, this is like the whole Mel Gibson realizing shit and coming to his like, I changed or whatever, you know? The big moment that, I understand women now. All he says is because he's talking about how he screwed over Darcy.
Yeah.
How he screwed over Helen Hunt. And his big truth bomb is like, you know how they say women have penis envy? That's not true. It's men. We have penis envy. And that's why we do all the bad things that we do. And that's like the climax of the movie. That's like him figuring out.
Oh, that was him like figuring
out
like,
everything about life. Yeah.
It's all about penis.
Yeah.
He's right.
I guess, but it's so it's so simple. It's like what? The problem is that this is such a good idea.
Yeah.
And this is such like you could really make this interesting. You could really say something.
Yeah.
And they said nothing. They just made shit worse.
They did. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When you saw the trailer as a kid?
Yes.
How old were you?
8.
8. Do you remember when you saw it as an 8-year-old? What did you think? Do you remember what you thought then?
Oh,
do you remember like what you thought of the movie then?
Oh, I was like, I want to be able to do that. That's all I remember.
That's all you was like, oh, that's a cool power.
Yeah, and I remember being like, my mom would never let me see this. So it just sort of.
Wait, as an 8-year-old, you knew she's not gonna let me.
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch this movie.
And you didn't. You didn't your whole life.
And lo and behold,
it came back around to you.
And you know what? I was right as an 8-year-old.
You made the right call. I saw that shit in theaters, man.
Oh man,
it was great. I still like it. As knowing how bad it is, I'm gonna watch it again at some point in my life.
This is another part. I just read this too. This is another part. So after the sex talk, this is my favorite thing you overheard. After the sex talk, he's in a diner. He's having a sex talk with his daughter in the diner, right? And there's a bunch of women overhearing him, right? And the daughter walks away, and he hears the women's thought, and one of the, so they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you gave her the sex talk here. I think that worked. I think she understood what he's trying to say. And then one lady was like, that relationship is over, man. You should get over it. And I was like, what? That's his relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
What kind of monster thinks that?
You don't know what kind of day she had, though.
And she was like, hey, man, you shouldn't even try to reach out to your daughter. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is beyond repair. I know you just had like a full lunch with her, but that's down the drain.
That woman, that's so funny. I like how mad she just was.
Yeah.
Look at you trying to connect with your daughter. Go fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, right? She must not have had a good...
I hate my dad.
Yeah, she must have had a very bad relationship with her father.
Yeah.
That was probably the deepest character in the whole entire film.
Yeah,
was that one
funny?
voice.
I think that one actor, George.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm going to make a decision.
Yeah. Oh,
Nancy
man.
Myers is going one way. I'm going to go another way.
Man, bad movie.
Great movie.
Bad movie. I would not... You know what, though? Watch it. Oh, you know what I mean? Just like be like, what the fuck? We made this movie? We made this movie?
They did. They made it.
God. I'm mad you made me watch it. So mad. We'll move on. We'll do another one. Hopefully we'll do a better one next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right.
Probably not.
Later, guys.
Yo, Ehsan.
What's up, Deric?
Dude, I'm fucking pumped. I've never been this pumped in a morning. Ever.
Really? I am also excited for this week's movie because I have always wanted to see it. It's one of my dad's favorite movies. It's one of the only DVDs we've ever bought.
And you never watched it?
I've never seen it. I've had this movie for at least since I was in high school.
The movie is Kill Bill Volume 1.
Never seen it.
Kill motherfucking Bill.
Never seen it.
No bullshit, dog. Every other movie we've done some greats. We've done some cult classics. We've done some funny ones. This is the best movie we've ever done. This is a top 10 greatest movie of all time type movie.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's coming that hard. Because so far, the best movie we've done so far, I think, is the Titanic.
It's not even close.
Really? Because I love Titanic.
This shit coming like Dark Knight, dog.
Oh, it's one of those like where you're like, I don't know if I'll watch it, and the second it's on, you're just stuck. You're glued to it.
Yeah, because it's a masterpiece. It's just a masterpiece, and it's just such a good movie, and the action, and oh my, everything. It's Tarantino at the peak. It's just perfect, man.
I'm excited because I like Tarantino. I really do. I've seen quite a bit.
And what Tarantino movies have you seen?
Okay, I've seen
to get a gist of where you are.
I've seen Pulp Fiction. It's the only one I didn't like. I didn't like Pulp Fiction. I just thought it was boring. Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained. And I think that's it. I haven't seen Hateful Eight. I haven't seen Kill Bill Volume 2.
You seen Inglourious Bastards, you said?
I have seen Inglourious Bastards, yeah. And I liked all those movies. They're all very, very, very good movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely... Yeah, this is. I mean, I love Django, but I'd say this is the best.
You think this is his best movie?
Yeah,
because I mean,
Django's incredible. Django's incredible.
His movies are
Glorious
amazing.
Bastards is fucking incredible. But you get the storyline. You get what a Tarantino movie is. I don't have to explain that much.
No. I kind of can see in my head the stuff that'll happen.
It's gory. You get all right.
Yeah.
Ehsan Ahmad.
Yes.
what do you think Kill Bill Volume 1 is?
See, when I was trying to come up with what I think happens to this, like trying to like figure out in my head, I was like, it's a Tarantino film, so there's no way I could get the plot, really, because like if I had never seen Django Unchained, right? There's no way I could guess that a dentist helps a free slave find his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I already know that, you know, plot-wise, I have no idea, and I'm not even gonna try. But here's what I do know. All right.
Well, give me because I do like when you guess. It is very funny. It's also very funny.
Well, no, through what I know, I think you'll see what I kind of will guess.
Okay.
Right. So I do know. I think Uma Thurman's called the bride, and I think she gets like fucked up on her wedding day, or like the day she's supposed to get married to someone. She ends up being put in a grave of some sort. This is all sort of like what I've heard. And then the whole movie is like a vengeance film. A lot of like kung fu in it. A lot of like a fight. I from what I know, it draws a lot on sort of Japanese sort of storytelling and anime and structure. So knowing that in these sort of like Japanese movies, a lot of fucked up things happen sexually, and almost always that fucked up sexual thing drives the whole film.
You've seen Pulp Fiction, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot. Yeah. So something happens. Either someone in Japanese movie, it's either someone gets raped or incest. But knowing Tarantino, someone probably gets raped. Like good. if that's like hard. I don't even know. Hard. Like I guess none of it is positive, but you know, I think that's like that probably is what drives a lot of somebody's motivation, whether it be the main character or even a villain. There's probably a scene somewhere where there's a lot of tense dialogue right before a fight, and a lot of will they, won't they fight, and in the end, Uma Thurman ends up killing everybody. One of those. There's always that. There's always in a Tarantino film. There's always like a tense dialogue between two characters, or like
the whole movie is tense dialogue.
The whole movie is tense. Well, yeah, that's Tarantino. But
like, what do you think? If you had to just guess.
Okay.
What do you think happens in this 2-hour movie?
Bride, at some point, all right, she wakes up or whatever. She just like wakes up or some shit, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta kill the guy I'm supposed to marry or whatever, the guy who fucked me over or something, right?" And so she's like, "Well, I can't just do it. I gotta train or whatever." And then,
that's so badass.
Yeah. And then so she finds like this sensei character who teaches her a bunch of shit, but either she has to kill him or he dies.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's actually wow. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, she has to kill him or he dies. That's how it always happens. She either outgrows him or they're on some kind of training mission and he gets fucked up by what will end up being her hardest fight. That isn't the main fight. Will end up being
Somebody
that
watches their kung fu.
Yeah, that lady in the snow. I think that's the famous movie kind of scene I've seen. They fight in the snow in a garden somewhere. Am I wrong about that?
Not saying nothing.
Okay. I think she was wearing yellow. No, Uma Thurman's wearing yellow. I think the lady she fights is wearing white. Either way, and so then the whole goal is to find the person who killed her sensei, because it'll lead her to David Carradine. I know David Carradine is probably the villain, I think. I see him a lot. He doesn't seem like a good guy. And in terms of doing fucked up sexual shit, that's right up his alley.
Oh, come on.
Hey, guys. Yeah, and so it just becomes this revenge. Like, she just mows down all these people. She probably gets hurt really badly. But in the process of getting hurt really badly, she finds an ally. And then, I mean, man, at this point, I don't even know. I can't even.
Because you know there's a sequel, so you know like
yeah. So like everything is up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she thinks it's an ally, and it turns out to be, oh, I gotta kill this person anyway. I gotta fight. Like at first we fight together, and then we gotta fucking kill each other.
How do you think it ends?
Shit.
You know it sets up a sequel.
The person she's supposed to kill gets away. Obviously, because then it wouldn't be called Kill Bill Volume 2. It would be called Kill Someone Else.
Okay. So it ends on a like...
It ends on a what happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe it's she almost goes back to the same situation where she seems to be in an inescapable situation.
Yeah. So it ends like, oh my God, how the fuck... What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is she going to get out of this?
Yeah.
and then the second film she rises above again.
Dude, what a guess. Interesting. Of course, way wrong, as always.
Right.
All over the place. I love it. All over the place. That's why I love when you do it. It's the best. It's funny, though, because you nailed a lot. You nailed some stuff in the sequel. So it was like, clearly you got, like, you just misheard what was in the second one. What was, like, Kill Bill.
I've never heard of anything in the second
somebody
one.
was just talking about Kill Bill Volume 2, and then you were just like, oh, Kill Bill.
Okay, yeah, maybe. That's
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's very, it's very funny. So that's interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, this movie's the shit.
All right. How does it start?
Starts with a quote, as all good kung fu movies do.
1 in 25 black men.
1 in 25 black men are killed every. No, it starts at, it says, revenge is a dish best served cold.
Ooh.
That's the first quote.
Ooh.
All right. Then we hear our main character, Uma Thurman. We hear her breathing. We just hear breathe, like you see a couple credits, right? Mm-hmm. And then you hear just, you know what I'm saying, like breathing. And then it shows her face, and she's been beat to fuck, and she's it's in black and white.
Oh shit! Okay.
She's been beat to fuck. It's just a zoom in on her face. She's been beat to absolute shit, like blood everywhere. It's like oh my god,
right?
Just she looks fucked up, and then you see a man. It like pans to a man in boots. Like there's bodies all over the place. You see bodies all over the place, and all you see is a guy's boots walking toward her, and you see like 5 people kind of standing there with guns. You don't really see who they are, but you just kind of see them in the background.
Right.
And he walks up to her. And then he goes, "Do you find me sadistic?" This first thing, nigga, it's so cold. Ooh. Do you find me sadistic?
Ooh, I like that's a good first
line. Right? It's first line of the movie, dog.
That's a good first line.
You know, and he goes, "I bet I could fry an egg on your head right now," because she's just looking at him, just fucked up,
breathing hard,
breathing hard, just fucked up, right? And then he just talks some more shit. He's just like he walks and he wipes blood off her face, and that nigga's got Bill on his goddamn napkin, on his handkerchief, just some cold blooded gangster. You don't see him, but you see his hand. He wipes blood off her face, just talking shit to her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then you hear him pull out a gun. Her eyes, you see her eyes get big, and then she starts breathing heavier. And then he says I forgot, he says some cold ass shit to her, and then she goes, "Bill, it's your baby." Boom! Yeah. Right through the motherfucking head, nigga, headshot, and they show that shit. Bow! You see her head, motherfucker. Bow, right? And then the movie starts, and the song is "Bang Bang, I Shot You Down, Bang Bang," which is a dope ass Lil Wayne song, by the way. I know it's really not a Lil Wayne song,
right?
But I know it is a Lil Wayne song, so I was like, nigga, he got it from this as well.
Okay,
it's a dope ass song.
So we don't know right now if this is her fate or this is how the movie starts.
Nigga, we don't know shit.
You don't know shit. All right.
Credits, and this is when the credits roll,
right?
And it says Kill Bill Volume 1, and it plays that song in the credits for a while. I like that his movies always start like that. Like the movie starts with credits, and it plays for a long time,
right? Like James Bond-esque.
Yeah, it's like suspenseful. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it says, that credits in, and it says Chapter 1, the number 2. So the first chapter
is called 2. That's amazing,
right? So good. When I wrote it down, I was like, this nigga killed this movie,
That's
man.
amazing.
The writing was so
I'm
good.
already in.
Dude, so we flash forward.
All right.
Because we're in a nice suburb, and it's Uma Thurman driving this ridiculous truck.
Okay, so this is
in a nice-ass suburb.
All right.
Okay? And she looks at her list. You see a name. You see her look at the list.
Yeah.
And then she walks up to the house. And you don't kind of know what's going on. It's kind of weird, you hear just this regular sound of the street and shit. And then she rings the doorbell, and then you hear Vivica Fox. You hear her walking up, going, "Susie, you here early, girl? What you doing here this early? You don't never be on time." You know what I mean? And then she opens the door, and then all you hear is every time there's a fight scene, bro, you hear this dope ass alarm, and it would go wah, 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 wah.
Oh, so that's how you know it's about to get
like that. Every time there's a dope ass fight.
So that's how you know it's about to get crazy.
So that happens, and then nigga, she just Uma Thurman punts this bitch. Boom!
So kicks her
right through the living room table, nigga.
Right.
And then Vivica Fox gets up, and it's just nigga, kung fu.
Right.
Straight up. Just hardcore.
Are they
height?
So it's all hand shit. They're not like Jason Bourning it and using items around the house.
Oh, they're doing all that.
Okay, they're doing all that.
They're doing the whole thing. Nigga, it's like two of the deadliest assassins in the world.
All right. Anything funny that they pick up?
Everything, nigga. They like. There's a point where she gets her on the ground and she's choking Vivica Fox out. And it looks like she's got her choked out. And Vivica Fox grabs the goddamn thing you poke a fire with.
Oh, poke, yeah.
And fucking like stabs her in the leg and gets out of it and flips it, nigga. And then it's back to just kung fu. Oh my god. And then eventually like Uma falls, right, and then she throws like a book thing on her, like a bookcase on her.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the kitchen. And then Uma like rolls out of it, runs to the kitchen, and then like she ducks a knife like
yeah,
and then she grabs like a frying pan, nigga, chink chink, and then they got the frying pan and the knife, chink chink, and then she flips it, and then Uma takes out her knife, and then now she has it like, and then now they got like 2 knives, right, and then the living room is now, they completely destroyed the living room, right?
The whole
and then now they're like there's it's like a suburb house, so imagine a house, right, so a front window,
right,
you know what I'm saying. And they're like squaring off, like they're like, and the Vivica Fox is like, "Come on, bitch!" Like she's talking, she's like, "Come on, bitch!" Like in a black woman voice, like, "Come on, bitch, what's up?" You know. And then they're kind of like doing that at the knives with each other, and then they get to the point where they're both like clearly in the window, and then you see a school bus pull up, nigga. Like slowly see a school bus pull up.
Oh,
bro, and then you see a little cute little black girl get out, and she starts like running to the house, and then you see Viv, and they're still like,
yeah, and
you see Uma Thurman, her face has not changed, like, nigga, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I'm about to kill you.
In front of your daughter.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, come on. And then they open the door, and then Uma Thurman, like, they both put the knives behind their back, and then the daughter walks in, and she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Vivica Fox is like, hey, baby, how was school? And they're both, like, bleeding.
Yeah.
In the living room with blood everywhere, nigga. It's, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, everything's fucked up. And then she's like, Mama, what happened to the living room? And she's like, oh, that damn dog. He got in the house again, acting a damn fool, baby. You know that dog, And then the daughter's like, who is this? She's like, oh, this is Mama's friend. And then she says the Uma Thurman's name.
Right. And
it goes, like, as she says her name, she's like, this is my friend. Boop. That's what you hear. It sounds like somebody fucked up on the movie.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? Like, he did it on purpose.
That's
like,
so there's a reason.
You don't hear her name on purpose. But
as a viewer, you're not supposed to know her name.
As a viewer, you're not supposed to know her name because you don't know her name.
Okay.
You literally just don't know her name. And you...
But clearly, Vivica Fox knows her.
When you see it for the first time, you're like... You would almost rewind it because it sounds like... What?
I got a bad copy.
Yeah, like, I got what? What the fuck? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't realize it till she says it again. And then she's like, like there's a reason she's... because Vivica... Uma Thurman asks the daughter what her name is, and then the daughter like stares at her, like, of course, because they're both bloody.
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And then the Vivica Fox character like says it again, like says, and then the beep thing happens again.
Right.
It's like, bleep, ask you a question, answer her, honey. So like, oh, that like it's the second one's to let you know, like,
you're not gonna know her name.
You're not gonna know her name.
You're not gonna know her
Just
name.
go ahead and get that out of your brain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then she looks at her daughter and she tells her, like, hey, baby, me and, and then the beep thing happens again. We're about to have a grown-up conversation. I need you to go to your room and don't come out until I tell you to. And the daughter never stops looking at the Uma Thurman character the whole time. She's just been looking at her.
Right.
Never broke eye contact. Right. And then.
And what's Uma's face like? Dead.
Looking at her.
Yeah.
Yep. Uma Thurman ain't playing, dog.
No.
Uma Thurman is the hottest. She's so fucking hot in this movie, dog. She's the most badass. It's the most badass character I've ever seen.
I mean, her...
Fuck Wonder Woman, nigga. This is Wonder Woman. Like, this shit is... It's not even coming close, nigga. It ain't even coming close, dog.
All right. So...
she tells her daughter, go to the room, and then the daughter's, like, still looking at Uma Thurman, and she goes, Nakia! Like, she slapped, like, and then, like, the daughter, like snaps, and then she's like, go to your room, and do not come until I tell you to come out.
Right.
So daughter goes to the room. So they're looking at each other. They both still got the knives. And then she goes, Vivica Fox goes, you want some coffee? And then Uma Thurman's like, all right. So they put their knives away. They go to the kitchen. Nigga, that's...
What?
That's the first fight scene.
That's the first pretty much scene. Well, second scene, but it's like the first scene after the credit. That's crazy. So we're starting off at like 100.
100.
We're starting off at 100.
So then Uma Thurman's character, like the shot pans up like to them, like an overhead shot of them like walking into the kitchen.
Right.
And then Uma Thurman starts doing a voiceover, and she's like, "This is Vanita Green, code name." And then like she was like code name Copperhead. And then like her name pops up, like everybody, like it's really cool, like shot, like you know. And then it lets you know that she used to be a member. She was like, she's a homemaker now, but don't let this homemaker fool you. She used to be a member of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad. And that's how you know, like, okay, it just started letting you know that, like, okay, there used to be a team here.
And was Uma a part of it, or was Uma targeted by it? You don't know.
You don't know yet. Still.
You don't know yet.
Yeah. So then, you find out that in this conversation that she was a part of it. Because
Okay.
Vivica says,
It makes sense.
Vivica goes, is it too late for an apology? And then Uma's like, yeah. You know, like,
Okay, so the squad fucked her over.
she know that, you know that now, like, oh, she was a part of the people that was standing there when she got killed.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I mean?
now, okay, so now this becomes trying to kill the Viper Squad.
Yeah, exactly. And then because she was a part of it. And,
Alright.
because also she says Uma Thurman does say in the voiceover that she was like, she was codenamed Copperhead, I was codenamed Black Mamba.
Okay.
So it lets you know that she was a part of
Ah,
it.
so she could shoot threes.
Yeah, and also she's a deadly 3-point.
Yeah, good turnaround shot.
Yeah, that's mainly why she got the nickname. And then they were like, oh man, she's a badass motherfucker. So, like, you know, Vivica says like, you know, I'm sure you want to get even. And then like Uma says some dope shit. She's like, oh, even? No, even would be I kill you. I go upstairs. I slowly kill your daughter. I wait for the Honorable Dr. Green to come home, and I kill him. That'd make us even. That'd make us about square. It's like, bro, oh my God. This bitch is scary as fuck.
That's creepy.
So then she was like, they're talking back and forth, and you can tell Vivica Fox is trying to get out of it. She's like,
Right.
I have a daughter now, and I'm like, I'm sorry that happened. Like, she's trying to get out of it, right?
Right.
And then you can tell Uma Thurman is like, you know, hey, don't parade your daughter. I would have had a daughter if it wasn't for you, bitch. So
Right.
get over that shit. Because you also find out like, oh, she was pregnant when they killed her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay. So then Vivica Fox is finally like, well, when do you want to do this, bitch? And then Uma Thurman says, well, when do you want to die? Today? Tomorrow? And then Vivica Fox is like, how about tonight, bitch? And then she's like, where? And then she's like, I coach a softball team, like my daughter's softball team. We're going to meet there, 12 a.m. We dress in all black and we do it. We have us a straight knife fight. Samurai swords only. And then Uma Thurman's like, all right, let's do it, right? And then she's like, but first, I got to make my daughter some cereal. And then Uma's like, okay. And she kind of backs up. And then she says, you know, Bill always said you were the best with the edge weapon. You know what an edge weapon is?
No.
Edge weapon is like a weapon that you hid in a random place.
Oh.
Like some shit that's
So
just
Vivica
like
Fox is good at the edge weapon.
good at shit that's like this. She'd be able to kill you with some shit like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
good with a
with a
weapon,
pen.
like a quick, like a just a crazy. She's good with a weapon like that, and she's just handy,
Right?
And like has weapons handy and shit. So, and then she's like, "Bitch, you know Bill never certified that shit. You Black Mamba. I should have been motherfucking Black Mamba." Like that's what Vivica Fox is saying.
Yeah.
And then Uma Thurman says like another like wise crack about her, like another joke about her.
Right.
And then Vivica Fox goes, very funny, bitch. Very funny. And she turns around with the cereal box and you hear a gunshot. Slow motion. But she misses. And then Uma Thurman, calm as fuck, bro, drops her coffee. Slow motion. It's all slow motion. Drops her coffee. Fucking ninja kicks that shit. Like right at her face. Vivica Fox ducks it. And then when she looks back up, Uma Thurman throws a knife right at her heart. Kills that bitch.
Oh God.
Like slowly. And all slow mo. It's so cool. It's such a cool scene.
What
It's such
the
a cool
fuck?
scene, dog. It's such a cool. And then Vivica Fox like dies slowly, like blood, like on the counter, like she falls to the ground.
Yeah.
And then as she falls to the ground, you know, Uma Thurman's looking at her. She's looking at her for a while, and she wipes her blade off. It's fucking, you know, cereal everywhere and shit. And then she turns around slowly, and the daughter's standing right there, just like that. Like, boy, I had clearly seen the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh God. Why would you, stupid daughter? What the fuck? Clearly something's going on. Why would you want to be a part of that? You're a kid.
Nobody even want to listen, bro. You know, so Uma, she says the dopest shit. She goes, it wasn't my intention to do this in front of you. For that, I'm sorry. But you can take my word for it. Your mama had it coming. Like she's saying this to her in front of a dead ass mama, dog.
Yeah.
And she says, when you grow up, if you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting. The daughter's just looking at her like, bitch, what the fuck?
What?
Yeah, and then she just walks out the
fuck?
house. Just like that. On that, bro.
So she kills Vivica Fox and then issues her daughter a challenge.
Issues her daughter like, nigga, hey, I understand. I've been there.
Yeah.
And if you grow up and you feel like how I feel,
Then we'll fight.
we'll fight. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll fuck you up too, bitch. Don't get it twisted. Your mama fuck with the wrong one.
Damn.
She's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's hot.
It's hot. Okay. She leaves. She goes to the car. She's in this huge, ridiculous truck, by the way. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's big, colorful, like white. It's like yellow and pink. And on the back of it, it says Pussy Wagon. Like huge pink letters, like bubble letters. she grabs her list, and while she's doing this, there's an Asian voiceover happening,
Right.
Like of like a guy talking like this, and if you ever come with, and he's talking about like how being an assassin is like a code, and like he's just telling you like this kind of like this cool voiceover,
Right.
You know what I mean? And while that's happening, she's crossing off a name, and she crosses off Vivica Fox's name, but you see there's already a name, Orini Shii, which is the first name, and it's already been crossed off.
Right.
So already like.
Okay, she's killed some people.
She's already like jumped. I've missed something.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he jumped ahead.
Right.
You know that. Like, it was a cool that it's so dope that he fucking did that, man. Like to show that fight scene before, because it makes so much sense when he shows the first fight scene how he got to the second one. Oh my god, my nigga, it's so fucking good.
All right,
it's
keep
so
going.
good. So she crossed off the name. Chapter 2, the
3?
blood spattered.
Oh,
no, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Chapter 2 is the blood spattered bride.
Okay.
So
Okay, so now we're doing the Tarantino thing. We're jumping around in time.
Now we keep jumping all the way back and forth now.
Right. Okay.
So now we're back to
the
beginning of the movie.
Now, if I had to guess, at some point you're going to see the first kill. If I had to guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right, keep going.
Flashback, we're in the middle of nowhere, El Paso, Texas. It lets you know you're in El Paso.
Okay.
But it's like, and you hear like country music. That's literally how it sounds. When you watch a movie, you hear loud. That's how the song goes.
Now you usually knock those out of the park. So that's probably exactly
Bro,
what it's going to sound like.
that shit sound like. And you see like a guy in a hat. And he's driving up to like, you see the wedding and there's a bunch of cop cars around the wedding.
Right.
And you see it's the old sheriff, right? And it's also the same. Quentin Tarantino is that nigga because he's like Adam Sandler, bro. He uses the same people.
Okay.
Always the same people in the movies.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah. So who is he?
The sheriff, he's an old white dude that's always in Tarantino movies.
Okay. So I'd recognize him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was in Django and Glory. Like you've seen him.
Okay.
So he's the sheriff. He gets there and then he walks up and a young cop walks up to him and he goes, "Son number one." It's so cool. That's what he calls him, son number one. He goes, "Hey, Dad." He's like, "Give me the details," right? And he's like, and the son comes up and he's like, "It's a goddamn massacre, Pop. They killed 9 people,
Oh, damn.
they killed, he said they killed 10 people. The wife's dead, the bride's dead, and the husband's dead. Everybody else is in regular clothes. They killed the pastor. They killed the pastor's wife." He said they even killed that black fella that played the piano. Because, Tarantino. He had to throw that in there.
Right. Right. I expected a couple solid N-words in this.
Not in this one.
Not in this one?
No.
No. Well, color me surprised.
Oh, yeah. I think
Yeah.
in the next one. I'm pretty sure they're in volume 2, maybe.
Right.
He has to. It's a quota.
I know, right? He has to hit it. He gets to say it in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I would have written it for myself, too, if I was white.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So then the son's telling him how he thinks it's a massacre, and then he goes, "No, son, this wasn't no massacre. This was an assassination. This was he's like, how do you know, Pop?" And he's like, "You can tell by the professionalism. You can tell they cornered him." And like, you just starts explaining like how he knows how this was like a hit. This wasn't no.
These are people who know how to kill.
Yeah, this was a hit, and they used AK-40 like assault rifles, but like it was still precision. It wasn't. They didn't miss. Nobody missed.
No spray and pray.
Yeah, it was like
in and out kill.
They and then they beat the shit out of clearly the bride.
The bride.
Yeah,
Uma,
who is pregnant.
Okay.
So then the sheriff's like, "Who's the bride?" And the son's like, "It's the birth certificate says Arlene Machiavelli." It's clearly a fake, right?
Yeah.
And then the sheriff like leans down and he like starts talking about how hot she is, like even though she's all fucked up.
Right.
It's gross. He's like rubs her face and then she spits in that nigga's eye. And he goes, "Son number one, this tall drink of cocksucker ain't dead." That's the first thing he says.
This tall drink of cocksucker
ain't dead. I mean, man, she just spit right in his eye.
That's
a clear shot.
I'm taking that.
So they cut to, she's in the hospital. She's laying in the bed. She's in a coma.
This is after she's been shot in the face.
Oh, this is. They thought they were coming up to do the cleanup of the crime scene.
Yeah, and then she's
clearly
alive.
She's still alive.
That's crazy.
It's dude. They beat the shit out this bitch.
That's crazy.
And then they shot her in the head like it's crazy.
Right.
So she's laying in the bed in the coma, and then a lady comes in whistling that famous Kill Bill thing.
Yeah. I've heard that.
So she comes in whistling that, right? And it's really cool. It's like, so that's all you hear is this. And you don't really see her. You see her like kind of legs. She's really hot. And then you see her walk into a room and you see she has an eye patch.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then she changes really sexily while that like whistling. Oh, she's doing the whistling and it gets louder.
Yeah. Still with the eye patch.
She does not take the eye patch off.
That makes it hotter.
Yeah. And then she she like changes into a nurse's outfit, and then she clearly like gets poisoned together, and then the whistling gets louder, and then she walks out, and then it's like you see who it is, and it's like this beautiful blonde woman, right, with a now a nurse eye patch, like with the red cross on the eye. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then she walks all the way down the hall, and then she walks into Uma Thurman's room, and then the whistling stops, you know, and then she kind of just starts talking shit to her. Like, cause and then it says her name, like it flashes up her name and it says L Driver, AKA.
Oh, she has like a cool.
They all have fucking AKA L Driver, code name California Mountain Snake.
So they all have snake names.
Yeah, everybody's a snake.
Everyone's a
snake. Deadly Viper Assassination Squad.
Oh, duh.
So she's Black Mamba.
Right.
Vivica Fox was
something.
I
already forgot.
I think Copperhead.
Oh, Copperhead. Yes.
Yeah, and then L Driver her name's L Driver, and then it's his code name California Mountain Snake.
Okay.
Right. So she talks some shit to her, and then she's about to kill her. Like right as she's about to kill her, right? Like, cause you can tell she doesn't like her.
Right.
She's just talking shit, like, and then right as she's about to put the poison in, her cell phone goes off, and she goes, "God damn it!" And she slams the thing down, and she picks it up, and she answers really sweetly, "Hello," and it's Bill. And you don't see him.
Right.
You still don't see him. All you see is a guy sitting in a chair, and you see a samurai sword, and you see a hand, and you see like that's it. And you see a guy playing with the samurai sword, like pulling it out and pulling it, like, you know,
right.
You know what I mean? And you hear his voiceover, right? And then he tells her, you know, like, "Are you standing over the body?" And she's like flirting with him. She's like, "Yes, daddy." Like, you can tell she's really into him.
Right.
And then he goes, "Okay, L, we're gonna abort the mission." And then she goes off. She's like, "God damn it!" You know, she go like, "Why are we gonna abort the mission?" And he goes, "We beat the shit out of that woman. We kicked her ass. We pummeled her to the ground. I put a bullet right between her face, like right between her eyes, and her heart kept on beating." He's like, "So what we're not gonna do is sneak into her hospital room at the middle of the night like a filthy rat and kill her in her sleep."
Okay, so he has this is honor thing.
Yeah, this is the honor thing because she's supposed to be dead,
right?
And she still live. I'm gonna give her that opportunity, you know,
right?
And he said if she wakes up, we're gonna. He said we did horrible things to this woman, and when she wakes up, we're gonna do even worse things to her. But right now,
let her rest up.
Let her get her. You know, she lived through that. I'll give her that.
Right.
So
that's a huge trope in movies, man. Even if you get beat up good enough, you gain respect for it.
Yeah. So he tells her to come home and like that he loves her, and she's like, you know, "Okay, daddy." And then she hangs up, and then she looks at the Uma Thurman character. She goes, "I bet you thought that was pretty fucking funny, didn't you?" You know, it's really pretty funny. And then she goes, "Word of advice, shithead, don't you ever wake the fuck up." And then it cuts, right? And then it says 4 years later, and she's still in the room in the coma, and it like zooms in on this mosquito flying around the room, and then it lands on her. And then it starts sucking blood,
and
then
she hits it.
No, she just wakes up in a panic.
Okay,
like scream, like "Ah!" You know,
right?
And then she's like just breathing heavy, and she's screaming, and she's looking around, and then she and then she freezes, and then it flashes back, and she remembers like the first scene in the movie,
right?
That it plays again, the first scene in the movie,
right?
And then like she sees the bullet come out the chamber slowly into her head, and then she cuts back to her in the hospital,
yeah,
and then she touches her head, and then you hear the metal, and she's like she freaks out like the ting 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 ting.
Oh, it's just in her head.
Yeah, no, they had a metal plate, like a metal plate.
Oh, okay, I thought the bullet's like just in there rattling around.
No, and then she touches that, and then she touches her stomach, and she realizes like she has a flat stomach and that the baby's gone, and then she just screams, and it's a crazy scene, dog.
Right.
She just screams and
it's
cries.
like a mother's cry, so it's like nuts,
like a nuts scene, dude. Very emotional.
Yeah, sounds less hot.
Not as hot as the earlier scene.
No, if I had to say,
yeah. So she's crying and screaming, and then she hears people coming down the hallway, and then she goes back into like fake coma because she just doesn't know what to do.
Right.
And then it turns out to be one of the grossest rape scenes you're ever about to hear. Okay, so
I knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming, baby.
I knew it was coming.
So this nigga, bro, the dude from, you ever seen Waterboy?
No.
Adam Sandler? Fuck. He's in Waterboy. He's in pretty much every Adam Sandler movie. He's one of those. He's a guy.
Okay.
So one of the guys, Adam Sandler's guys, comes in, right? And I don't know his name. He comes in with like the nurse.
Yeah.
And the nurse.
Like, doobie doobie doo.
Yeah. He's like ah, boop, beep, beep, beep. Ah, boop, 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 boop. on her body.
Yeah.
And so he goes, the first words out of his mouth, they walk in, they're looking at her, they're kind of like, and they both look like Southern trucker looking, nasty looking dudes.
Right.
And then he goes, $75 a fuck, my friend. And then the guy's like, he's looking at it and he's eyeing it, and then he's like, all right, right? And then he goes, all right, I got 2 rules. You know, no, you can't hit her. He's like, no punching. He's like, now this little cocksucker, she spits, but I don't give a shit. You can't punch her, all right? He said, rule number 2, no hickeys, no bite marks, no kiss, no French. Like he says all these like things, like sexual things. And then he goes, he's like, her plumbing don't work, so you can come inside her all you want. Don't worry about all that. She's hearing all this shit, my nigga. You know?
That means this has been happening to her.
Yeah, oh yeah. They imply that. And then he goes, you know, other than that, have fun, my friend. He's like, I'll be back in like 10 or something. And then he goes, he told him he's like, oh, and by the way, as he's about to leave the door, he turns around, he goes, oh, by the way, he said, and this cocksucker, her pussy dries up, you know, more than the Sahara sand, you know, so you might have to use this lube. And then he throws in the lube and they zoom in on the lube bottle and it's like disgust. You can tell it's been like used by so many people. It's so fucking gross.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God, this is way more intense than I thought it would be.
Very intense.
Man, I liked it better when I just thought someone got raped normally.
No. So the nurse leaves, the male nurse guy leaves. The Adam Sandler friend dude, you know, takes his hat off and his jacket and he's like, you know, crawls on top of her. And then he starts to kiss her. And then about 5 seconds later, it pans out the door and you just hear him screaming.
Yeah.
And then it pans back in and she's eating this nigga's tongue out of his mouth. I swear to God, Ehsan. It's his head pulled back like, ah! And it's her like looking at him with his fucking tongue and it's like this far. And it's, dude, it's pretty badass.
I mean, he definitely deserves that. But that visual,
it's vicious, dude.
This whole scene is uncomfortable.
No, this is when Sam like paused the movie. Sam, my girl, she couldn't. She was like, and I was like, no, and she paused it. She's like, no, don't pause it. I don't want to watch this. And I was like, no, you gotta watch this with me. It's the best scene in the movie.
It's so uncomfortable.
So then you hear the nurse coming back in, like walking down the hallway, right? And he knocks on the door and he's like, all right, time's up, my buddy. And then you like the Uma Thurman character, like you see it, she had like, but right before that, she had like, you seen her like while the guy was walking down the hallway back, you seen her character like crawling like towards the door.
Right.
Like just crawling as hard as she could towards the door with her upper body. And then the dude comes in and the nurse comes in and like the music kind of plays, like music plays, like slow, and then it goes in slow motion and it pans down from his face to he notices the body, and then it keeps panning down, and then she's on the ground, and then she has a knife, and then she takes the guy's knife. The guy had a knife on her.
Right.
She takes it off him, and then she stabs his Achilles, like real quick, like fuck, and that nigga drops, bro. It's real. He just drops, and then as he drops, she puts his head in between the metal door of the house, and then he goes, "Where's Bill?" Bow, and he goes, "What?" And she goes, "Where's Bill?" Bow. He goes, "Can you please stop hitting me?"
No, fucking.
"Where's Bill?" Bow. And he goes, he's just like that because his head is fucking like that on the metal door. And then she looks at his hands, and his hands had "buck" and "fuck" tattooed on them. And then she, her head kind of looks at him like this, and then it flashes back to her laying in a coma, and he's standing in front of her, and he goes, "I'm from Huntsville, Texas." We got a little saying in Huntsville, Texas, and he takes his pants off. He goes, "My name is Buck, and I'm here to fuck."
Oh, God.
Yo, one of the best things.
Murder him.
Yeah, one of the side notes, best things about this. I swear to God, one of the times I seen Kill Bill on TNT, he goes, it's one of the funniest things ever. He goes, "My name is Buck, and I'm here to party." One of the funny, I never forgot that, dog. And I'm here to party. It made no sense.
Oh, God. There's a good one for Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
What's up with these, on this Monday to Friday plane?
This Monday to Friday plane.
That's a great one. That's a classic.
He's right.
Yeah. So to party. That's funny.
So she remembers that, and then she slams the door. Like he goes, "Wait," and then she slams the door crazy hard on his head, and you see then she like lays like back on him like to rest as his body
is just shaking. Yeah.
It's fucking dope. It's like,
well, he definitely deserves that.
Yeah,
100%.
So she rests there for a second until he dies, and then she reaches in for his car keys, like to see if he has car keys, and then she pulls them out, and his car keys say "Pussy Wagon" on it.
Oh,
so dope.
Dot connected,
right?
That's how she. And that's why it's a ridiculously stupid car.
Yep.
Because clearly a guy with "buck fuck" tattooed on his
is gonna drive around in the pussy wagon.
Oh God, damn!
Great, Tarantino, man.
God damn,
so good.
That's a ridiculous scene.
Yeah. And then, of course, she sees the pussy wagon thing, and she goes, ugh, and then she slams his head on the door again, even though he's completely, like, does it just one more time just to fucking fuck him up. And then she takes his clothes off and puts his stuff on. And then there's, like that kind of music playing, right? And then she somehow finds a wheelchair. It doesn't really say how she does. And she's rolling in the parking lot. Right. She's kind of scrambling. She's looking for a car. And then she looks over, and then it takes her like 5 seconds, and then she sees the huge pussy wagon truck. And she's, just like, ugh. And then she gets in it, and it's like a crazy hard scene. Like, so like at least a 2 to 3 minute scene of her crawling in the back of the truck without using her legs.
Right.
And it's like intense. Like, you really see how hard it is.
Yeah,
like, they really amplify it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she's like almost crying, like just struggling to get in. You know what I mean? And again, the truck is just getting in the back. And then she finally does. She closes the door, and then she's just breathing, right? She's just breathing hard. And then she's looking at her toe. She calms herself down. She goes, wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your big toe. And she just starts doing that mantra. Wiggle your big toe. Right? And then as she's doing that, a voiceover happens, like her own voiceover.
Right.
And then it fades out, and as it does, it says Chapter 3, The Origin of Oren. Bro. So then you hear...
What?
So you hear, like, it kind of fades back to her laying, like, as she's doing the voiceover, the camera fades back to her, like, laying in the bride costume, and then it shows all the Viper people looking at her, and it's Vivica Fox, Lucy Liu,
right,
who is Oren, Michael Madsen, who's this guy named Bud, and then the woman in the patch, Elle Driver.
Okay.
Right? So you see the 4 assassins. You don't see Bill, but you see them 4.
Right.
You don't see their,
Right.
And then it shows all 4 of them, but then the camera slowly pans over to Lucy Liu, right? And then she goes, and the voiceover is her going, as I sit in the back seat trying to wiggle my limbs back to reality, I think how to kill all 4 of the deadly Viper assassination squad. And she was like, and of course, my first target, the easiest, Oren Ishii, the head of the Yakuza Japan. She explains how Oren becomes that she became, since she killed me, she's went on to become the head of the Yakuza bosses and all of the.
So she provides some backstory while she's wiggling.
So she says that about her, and then she says, but it wasn't that easy for her to get there. And then that's when it flips to anime.
Wait, what?
The movie goes anime right there.
Like actual animated.
Nigga, dope ass anime too.
Wait, what? I have never heard this before.
Dope fucking anime. So she goes, so she says like how, it's like she's trying to get her limbs to come together, and she's saying that, right? And so she also says like, I need to find, she'll be the easiest one to find because I know now
where she is.
She was on her way, because also like, she was clearly on her way up to becoming a boss then. So she's a famous person, right?
Right.
So she's like, I know it'll be easy to find her. But so as she says it, she's like, oh, I'm going to tell this origin of her. Right. And then it flips back to her. Like, it just cuts to anime.
So it's legit.
And the music's really cool.
It's legit animated. It's not like anime themes. It's like actually animated.
It's so cool. Oh, and it's like cool drawing anime. Like, it's like kind of like.
What?
The kind of anime. I'm trying to think of a cartoon or the kind of anime.
You don't watch a lot of anime.
I know. So I'm trying to think of a American kind of cartoon that it would look like.
It's probably nothing like it. Anime is distinct feel.
Yeah, nigga. It's Asian as fuck. It's like straight up. Well, it looks like porn.
Okay. I did not expect you to say that.
The only version of anime that I
that you're familiar with.
Yeah, it looks like this.
It's okay. I was in 7th grade too. I understand.
It's good. No, it's just great. It's just great anime. So she goes, she was born. She tells, she goes, Oren was born on American soil, and she was mixed. She was mixed with Japanese, American, and Chinese.
Okay.
And she says, and at age 9, she witnessed her parents' death at the hands of boss Masimoto. Oh. Right? And so it goes, and then like it shows they're in a house, like a room, and it's her, and she's on a bed, and it's all anime, right? She's under a bed, and it's cool music playing, and then it's like it pans back outside the bed, and it's like the boss Masimoto dude, and he's like smoking a cigar, like, oh, and he's like watching, and then it's her dad. It shows like her dad and her mom, like, and her mom's behind him, and then he's like fighting off his bad guys,
right?
And he kills 2 of them. It's a really cool fight scene. Like,
right.
He's like,
yeah, all kung fu.
All kung fu.
No weapons.
No weapons. All kung fu. He kills them with his bare hands.
Okay.
Like, smashes their faces with his bare hands. And then after he kills,
like together.
No, like one dude's like on the wall and he goes, ah! And it's just
Oh,
all blood.
blood.
Everything's blood. Of course, it's everything. All the blood in the movie is amplified by 30 million.
Right.
Know
It's
that.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just blood all over, just explodes.
Right.
And then as that happens, one of the other Masimoto bad guys, he stabs the dad in the back with a samurai sword.
Okay.
right? And then it's just blood everywhere, and it's like, da-da-da. It's like real slow music playing, right? And then the daughter's like, oh, no, yeah, oh. Like, you know, like those little, because she's under the bed, she has to make, oh, like little sounds like that, you know? And she's looking at it, and she watches it happen, and then the guy pulls the sword off the back, and then this blood just shoots, like enough blood to
like
fill the room. It would have filled the room if it had really happened.
Right.
Like, it was so much. And then, like, so they throw the mom on the bed, and you hear the mom like, oh, and the boss kind of like he goes, he's smoking a cigar, looking at her, and then the guy who stabbed the dad with the samurai sword, like he flips it in a cool way and like holds it in front of the boss, like the handle part, and I swear to God, the boss goes, ooh. When you watch the movie, my nigga, tell me. He goes right when the sword, so like it shows him, he's smoking a cigar, and you see the sword like handle come in his face like real slowly, and the guy's like this, and he he doesn't look at it, he just goes ooh, and then he grabs it, and then he fucking like pulls it like that, and then like it pans back to the daughter, and you just see a sword like miss her face like this, like hard as shit, right? And he's like you hear that, and then he like comes down, and then it like barely misses her face, and then she's looking up at them. You don't see it, you just see the sword come out like from her angle, you know, and like barely misses her face, and then she doesn't flinch. She's just looking at it, and then the bed slowly fills up with blood. The whole white mattress becomes red, and then it just starts dripping on her face as like sad music plays. Yeah, her mom's blood, and she's just looking at it. And then the boss goes out. He's like, ooh, again. He was like, ooh, and then he walks out. Okay, and then as she walks out, the assassin who stabbed the dad in the back, he like sees the cigar that he had on the thing, and he shoots a whiskey bottle, and he kung fu kicks the cigar to make like the house burn down on fire. It's really cool. Right. To make like the house burn down. And then, of course, they don't know she's in it. No. So they leave, and then the next scene is like that. You see the house like burning down and collapsing, and she's like sitting outside of it, kind of like watching it happen. Right. And then, of course, it says she, and as she watched her house burn down with her parents in it, she swore revenge. This is all animated. Oh yeah, this is all still animated. Everything's still. She swore revenge. So the next scene, Uma Thurman says, at 11, she got her revenge. 11. Good. And then she goes, because boss Matsumoto was a pedophile. And so it shows like her, the little young anime Lucy Liu, fucking. Oh, it's Lucy Liu, by the way. Orino, she is Lucy Liu. I should mention that. Yeah, so you mentioned young that. Lucy Liu. Okay. Oh, and so she like dresses up as a kid trying to get fucked. Yeah, it's young. It's still anime, you know. And then she's on top of him, and then it starts like the scene where she's on top of him. She's already stabbing him in the chest. Right. And he's looking at her like, oh, and then she's like, "Do you remember me? Look at my eyes. Do you remember my eyes?" Like she's like real slow. The anime, the 11-year-old, and he's like, "Look at my mouth. You don't remember my mouth?" And he's just like looking like, and then like she pushes the sword in harder, and she keeps saying this creepy shit to him. And then she goes, "Because you killed my father!" And then she pulls it out, and then like all of this blood comes squirting out, or like just cum. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just like a geyser. I'm having a lot of very visceral reactions to this. Like it's a very visceral movie. Yeah, I'm like shivering. So like she sits in his blood and kind of like she just kind of sits in and just like enjoys it. She just triumph. And right. So she's probably gonna be well adjusted. Yeah, you hear feet kind of like, and then the door opens, and then she doesn't even panic. She just kind of looks at him like slowly, like really cool, like this, like smiles, and then they pull out a gun and try to shoot her, and then really quick, like she's just gone. And then it shows under the bed, and then she's already got the gun on him, and then she shoots both these niggas' ankles off. Pow, 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 pow. And then as they fall off, the ankles fly off. And then as they fall to the ground, fucking headshots. Dope, nigga. Yo, this is real cool. That's what this movie seems like. It's real cool. It's one of the coolest movies. It's like Dark Knight. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. Yeah. It's coming so cool. And then the next scene is still animated. And she's standing on top of a rooftop in like this red assassin's outfit. Right. And then she goes, by 20, she was one of the top female assassins in the world. And then it's this cool music playing, and she has like a sniper rifle, the anime Lucy Liu, on her shoulder. Right. And then like a car starts rolling, like you see like from like miles away, this like limo, like a presidential brigade, like a presidential. Right. Shit. What I'm looking for. Motorcade? Motorcade. Like you see one of them, and it's like from some country, like Brazil or Mexico or some shit. Some country we don't, Yeah. Some country that doesn't matter. That was your vibe that you gave. Whatever. So, so they're driving, like they're like, and then she just fucking like aims it down for like a half a second, and then shoots, and then like this nigga's in the limo, and he shows the president, like a presidential kind of like anime figure, and he's in the limo like partying like with a bunch of hot girls, right? And then the bullet like right through his head. And then you see like a thing fall, like his head, like the camera angle is from like inside of his head.
Yeah.
And like it looks up and it's like how all the girls like looking in. And then they start screaming. It's such a cool scene, dude.
Oh, man. Good shots. That's interesting. I had no idea there was fucking anime in this.
Yeah. And then like it shows the Orin character like on the roof, like kind of like standing there.
Does she blow the smoke off the gun?
No, she's just standing there cool. And then she goes, the next scene, like it shows in anime, it shows them beating the shit out of the bride. Like in turn, so like they're all like kicking her into the next person. Like they kick her here,
right,
and then they kick her, and it's that scene.
It's like hot potato.
Yeah, she goes at 25. She did her part in the killing of 9 innocent people in an El Paso wedding chapel. Damn. But she said, but she made one big mistake that day.
She let her live.
She should have killed 10. And then she goes, and they're still in anime, right? And they're kicking her ass. She goes, but first thing first, and it cuts back to her, and she goes, wiggle. And it's right back to the mantra. Wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your big toe. And then her big toe wiggles. And she goes, all right. Now let's get the rest of these piggies wiggling. Bro, it's such a cool scene.
What?
And that's how that ends.
That's a really cool way to do a backstory.
Dude.
Yeah.
Also, the way I love how it starts with
wiggle your big toe and it
ends. I don't know why Paul Blart didn't do that.
How come Paul Blart didn't
or
have
White Women Want. A lot of movies didn't write it like that.
Yeah.
Write better, y'all.
Yeah.
Fucking think about it when you're writing, guys.
Boys in the Hood.
Now, I like that one. They wrote that one. That was pretty. I don't know if callbacks would have been the best thing for that. Like if they'd have did the story structure all weird.
Yeah.
On that,
And that's how Ricky
opens
died.
with Ricky getting shot.
Yeah,
like, Jesus,
but
man.
animated.
Yeah, an animated version. So that's how that ends. And she goes, and then it says 13 hours later. Like it cuts to 13 hours later. Mm-hmm. And then it shows the door open and then she like walks out of the car. And then she walks to the front seat.
13 hours?
Hmm?
Man, that's some bad police work.
We don't mention that. I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew you were going to be like, what? Wouldn't they go straight to his car?
Yeah, isn't that the first place they would check?
They didn't, apparently.
Okay. I mean, this car is so nondescript.
Yeah. It also didn't say if she hid the bodies while she was in the room. If she didn't drag the bodies and like hit them.
That's fair.
Herself some time.
That's fair. I mean, she probably didn't.
I don't think she did.
No.
It'd have been really hard. They were two grown men.
It's one of those things you just let happen because it's a movie.
Yeah, you got to.
I'm on your case, Tarantino.
So, she walks out, it shows, and then she pulls out and drives away, and then it shows her, she pulls up at an airport, and then it cuts to like her talking to the lady, and she goes, 1 ticket to Okinawa, please. And then it shows like a plane flying to Okinawa, and like an anime again, like a plane flying to Okinawa, and then it ends, and it goes, chapter 4, the man from Okinawa. Like all black, like it cuts to black, and it like that's how each one starts. It's like it's let you know, like it's really cool, dog. It's so fucking cool. So the next scene. It's her, like, it shows a Japanese guy in a restaurant, like, by himself. There's no one else in the restaurant. And he's just chopping fish. And then she walks in, and she's, like, got, a touristy Japan shirt on. And she's got, like, a ponytail. She's got, like, a backpack. And she walks in, she's like, oh, hi, can I come in? And she's, like, acting, like, all touristy. And he's like, ooh,
right.
Come. He's really funny. But this is one of the funniest scenes in the movie to me.
That's funny.
So then, like, she goes, she's like, oh, can I sit down? He's like, oh, please. He's talking to me. And then they're flirting and kind of talking back and forth. And he's talking like, do you speak Japanese? And she's like, a little. And then, like, they kind of like, he's like, oh, what Japanese do you know? Like, and then she tells him. And then he, like, helps her, like, say it right. It's very flirty. Like, they're flirting.
Yeah,
very good scene. And then she orders, like, fish and sake. And then he goes, ooh, sake. And then he calls his, like, assistant or son. You don't know. And his son is clearly an idiot.
Right,
his son's clearly like a dummy, right? And he's like yelling at him, like he's like he's like, oh no, like he says, like big oaf, and like you see like the words coming at the bottom when he's talking in Japanese,
right?
And then he go back to flirting with her, and then the guy comes out and he goes up to her and he goes, I remember this line. He goes like, he goes like, well, you want warm sake in the day? To Uma Thurman, and she kind of looks at him. He goes, day, night, give her warm sake. She gets warm sake when she gets warm sake. Like he just starts going off about sake, and this nigga like throws a knife on the wall. You can tell he's a badass because he throws a knife on the wall, and that shit lands perfectly.
Right.
So right there, they're like,
that he's got skill.
But you don't know, it might just be from chef shit. You don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
And so they keep flirting and talking. It's really nice. And then the guy, the other son, goes off to the thing. And then it's like a funny scene. It's like one of the most lighthearted funny scenes in the movie. Period. It's like the only one that's like completely lighthearted, completely funny.
Yeah.
And then he goes, so what brings you out to Japan? And then she gets quiet and real serious, and she goes, I'm here to see a man. And he goes, oh, who is this man? Do you know him? And she's like, nope, I've never met him. He's like, you come all the way to Japan to meet a man you've never met. Must be a special man. And then she goes, yeah, he's pretty special.
Okay.
And then he goes, you mind me asking his name? Hope it's not too much. He's still like flirting with her. Hope it's not too much, a boyfriend, And then I don't know why he got French.
Oui, oui. This is Japan.
And then she goes, Hatari Hanzo. And then you hear like glass in the back break, and he stops chopping fish, obviously.
Right.
And he looks up, and then in Japanese, he goes, what do you want with Hatari Hanzo? And then she speaks in Japanese, and she's like, I need Japanese steel. Like she says it in Japanese. And then he goes, why do you, he says why in English. And then she goes, I have a rat problem. But she says it in Japanese. And then he says in English, you must have big rat. In English, he goes, you must have big rat, need Hattori Hanzo steel. And she goes, huge. Like she leans in huge. And then the next scene is like he takes her to like right upstairs to the restaurant.
Right.
Like and he opens this like open door and she crawls up and then he has this beautiful sword collection. Like they're all like on the wall and they're all like beautiful swords.
Right.
Like samurai swords, right? And it's really like soft, beautiful music playing in the background. And then she's like being really respectful and like looking at him and like just eyeing them all. And then she goes to touch one and she stops and she's like, like, may I touch one? And he like, he grabs one and then he stops her and he goes, no. Second one from the left.
Okay. I thought he was gonna be like,
no.
The right
like,
sword chooses you.
No. And then he like she grabs it and then she pulls it out and he goes, funny. American girl likes samurai swords. I like a baseball. I swear to God, that's what he says. Then this nigga pulls out a baseball and hurls it at her. And then she slices it like in half, like easy. Like cake. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like yeah. Just to let you know.
I deserve this steal as well.
Yeah. So then he walks up to her slowly.
This baseball in Japan. That's
that line.
That's not distinctly American. He should have said football. Either way, go on.
Oh my God. Beautiful girl like samurai swords. I like a baseball. Because you just didn't see like what?
Yeah.
And then a baseball pulls out a baseball. And it's like this nigga had a baseball on him.
At all times, just to test white women's samurai strength.
Well, if you go come in asking about Hattori Hanzo, I'm gonna get a baseball.
You gotta worry about the fastball.
The Hattori Hanzo fastball. So he takes her upstairs. And so he said, like, he walks up to her and he goes, I wanted to show you this out of respect. He's like, I respect you. Right. You came in and that you said you needed a steal. And he was like, but I don't make swords anymore. He tells her, I don't make swords. Like, I made a promise, an oath to God 28 years ago.
Right.
Not to make swords. I don't do that anymore.
Right.
And then she goes, well, sell me one of these. And then he goes, these are not for sale. And then she starts laughing. And she goes, no, she says, give me one of these. And then he goes, these are not for sale. She starts laughing. And then she goes, I didn't say sell me. I said give me.
Oh, damn.
And then he turns around like, why would I give you Hattori Hanzo? Like, why would I give you one of these? And she goes, because my vermin is a former student of yours. And considering the student, she says, I think you owe me a huge obligation. And then his eyes light up and he slowly walks to the window and then you hear, da-da-da, like that Asian, da-da-da, when they do that, da-da-da, like that shit.
Yeah.
And he walks to the window and it's all dusty and he writes Bill in slow motion. Like he knows what's up. Nigga, it's so dope. It's so dope. And then he goes, he looks at her and he goes, I will make you swords,
Right. Oh, look at that.
He promises to make it. He tells her, he said, I'll help you. He's like, you can sleep here and you can practice with these for a month and I'll make you the sword.
Okay. So this is the sensei character.
Yeah. So, well, one of. You find out, bro, this movie's so deep. You don't even, man, my nigga.
Jesus.
My nigga. So then it says, he says to her while he's walking downstairs, it'll take me a month. So then it says, pans 1 month later and they're sitting in like karate ropes and they're all like sitting really, and it's his assistant dude and him and like they tell they're being very serious and he's got the sword in his hand like this in his robes and he pulls it out and he goes, you can tell he's like kind of crying and he's like, yeah, he made an oath to God 28 years ago to never make another instrument of death.
Right.
And he can't believe that, but he respects her so much and he knows what Bill is and he knows that he must help her on her journey.
Right.
And then he goes, he says, I say this without ego. In Japanese, he's saying all this. He's like, without ego, this is the finest sword I've ever made. And he goes, and if you so happen to encounter God on your journey, he will be sliced. Woo. Nigga, nigga, he said, if you encounter God, I'm sorry, God.
Damn.
But you ain't got a shot.
Damn.
You getting cut the fuck up with this one.
I've never been that confident in my life.
What? This nigga, bro.
I need to work on that. That's what.
Hatarihanzo steel.
I need to work on that. I need to have that. I need to have Hatarihanzo confidence.
Right. Hatarihanzo. So, and then he hands her the sword, and like she's like looks at it like with respect, and she's like, and then he goes, he says in Japanese, "Yellow-haired warrior, go." You're right. And then it's another anime shot of a plane flying like back to, I think China.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And then it pans to black, and it says Chapter 5, Showdown at the House of Blue Leaves. Ooh. Nigga, each chapter comes so hard. Each chapter comes the man from Okinawa, Showdown at the House of Blue Leaves. Dog.
I'm excited.
The next scene is a voiceover of Uma Thurman. Like it's a shot of Lucy Liu at a head of a big table with all these Japanese people around her, and they're kind of they're celebrating. But it's that's just the shot, and you hear Uma doing the voiceover.
Right.
And she says about how 1 year after the El Paso massacre, Orin Ishii made a deal with all bosses in Japan to be the head boss of Yakuza. And she's like, and this is the dinner where they are celebrating this exact moment. And she goes, everybody seems happy, and then but she's kind of pointing around the room, and then she goes, but first let me tell you like Orin's team. And then she pans to, it's like a cool like music cuts in,
right?
And it. And she goes, her assistant, the woman who is dressed like a Star Trek villain, is Sophie. And she handles all her businesses, her day-to-day and all that stuff. And then she pans to another woman and she goes, this is Gogo, her 17-year-old bodyguard. Don't let Gogo fool you. She's an absolute fucking lunatic. And then it does a flashback for Gogo, and she's talking to some ugly dude at this bar, and then he's like talking to her about like, do you like movies? And she's like drunk, and she's like, movies? She's like, do you want to fuck me? She's saying this in Japanese, and he's like really ugly. Like he's like, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, you want to penetrate me? And she's like, yeah. She's like all fucked up, and she just stabs that nigga. She's like, is this how you want to fuck me? And you could tell he's just like an ugly nerd, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
And she just kills that nigga, and she's like rips slices his innards all out. It's crazy.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah. Wow. He's trying to take a chance.
He really thought he was about to get some pussy, dog. He was for sure thought he was about to get some pussy.
Man, she's crazy.
So she says, she does that, and then she pans to the next guy over, and it's a guy with like a mask. And an interesting fact, you find out it's the actor. I mean, you find this later, but the actor who was playing the dumb son is also this actor.
Oh.
And he's another character in Kill Bill Volume 2, and he's an even bigger, he's like a main character in that movie.
Oh, wow.
So this actor is 3 people in this whole series.
He's different, and those are all different people.
They're all different characters. And so she pans
That's
over
an
to him.
interesting choice.
Yeah, so he has a mask on in this one, right?
Right.
And in the third one, he has makeup on. So he never looks like the same person. So you never know it's him.
Okay.
So he has a mask on, and she goes, and this is Johnny Mo, the head of her, Orin Ishii's army, the Crazy 88s.
Oh.
She has a whole army, right?
Yeah. And they're crazy, and they're 88 years old.
Oh, yeah, they're all 88 years old.
Yeah,
they're fucking nuts. And she goes, so they're all celebrating, that Orin Ishii just became the boss of all the Yakuza in Japan. And everybody's happy. Except for Boss Tanaka. Because what Boss Tanaka thinks. And then Boss Tanaka smashes a glass. And it cuts to the real scene, the voiceover stop, and it cuts to the real scene. And then they all look at him and they're like, hey, because it's all in Japanese.
Right.
And then she's like, she puts her hands up and everybody gets quiet. And she's like, what's your problem, Boss Tanaka? And she says it in English. And then he says in Japanese, really sweetly, he's like, I'm sorry to have this outburst, but I love the Yakuza. He talks about how he's been a member since forever, and how much it means to him, and how it means more than the Yakuza means anything more to him than
he's
his family.
The good fellows of the Yakuza.
Yeah, it means anything more to him than his own family, and how he loves the Yakuza, and it's bullshit. And then he starts yelling, but he's saying it's bullshit that is now being run by some half-breed Chinese American bitch. And then as he's yelling, before he even can finish the sentence, bro, she's up on the table. Mm-hmm. Lucy Liu.
Right.
Jumps up on the table, like a table like this, and she's sitting like this, Nick. She's sitting like this.
Right.
Within a second, she's on this bitch, and on her tiptoes, runs across the whole table, and you hear it like that, as he's yelling, and then she never looks at him. She's looking this way, and then fucking slices his head off without looking at him. it's so dope, my nigga. And just like holds the pose, right? And everybody in the room is like, and then a geyser.
Of course she holds the pose.
Of course, a fucking geyser of blood.
Right.
Geyser of blood is shooting up, right?
Right.
And then you have to let like the blood goes, and until that stops, she doesn't get up.
And she's getting covered in it.
No, she's not getting covered in it. She slowly gets
she's
up.
a boss. She's clean.
She's clean. She slowly gets. She's also in like the middle of the table. She slowly gets up, and she stands, and then in very nice English, she goes, "As your leader, I encourage that all of you speak up from time to time whenever you're having a problem in my organization." Dude, it's so cool.
That's scary. That's some good boss shit.
It's really scary.
That's some real boss
almost
shit.
Just caught a fucking cramp in my leg.
Yeah, from sitting down?
I think from sitting down.
Or from imagining you doing these moves?
I think from,
So she cuts the head off. If you have problems with my organization, just speak up. Tell me. She's saying that real nice.
Yeah, she's saying that real nice. She had probably and then she goes like real casually. She goes, "But the price you pay for bringing up my American Japanese heritage, I collect your fucking head." And she like lifts up a head.
Yeah.
You know? And then she goes, "Now if she starts yelling, and she goes, "Now if any of you sons of bitches have anything else to say, now's the fucking time." And then like everybody pans around and like everybody's just like,
nope.
Bruh. So dope. So the next scene, like Lucy Liu and her team, they're like driving to a club somewhere.
Right.
Like they're all like driving. Like you don't know they're going to a club, but they're all like in like different, like a motorcade of cars and like motorcycles and shit.
Right.
And you see Uma like trailing them, and like she's in like this dope ass, the yellow motorcycle with the yellow motorcycle outfit.
That's the iconic sort of shot of the movie, or outfit, anyways.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, it's in the poster. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And she just looks like a fucking badass, dude. And then, so she's looking, as she's trailing him, she's looking in one of the windows, and she sees the assistant character, the Sophie character.
Right.
And she has like that, like a flashback to the El Paso thing.
Right.
And as she's getting her ass beat, she hears she gets kicked, and like a ringtone goes off. And then the camera pans too, as she lands on the ground. She like looks over, and it's the Sophie character. She was at the thing.
That's crazy.
And she was just like, it shows her like taking calls and like handling business. Okay. And it shows like they keep beating her ass, and she's just like, "Oh no, we weren't." You know what I mean?
That's a good character. I like that.
Yeah, just like a piece of shit number 2.
Right.
You know. So the next shot is like then they get to the club, and it's Lucy and her team walking into the club. Right. They're walking in the club, and it's like all slow-mo, and it's like really cool music playing, and it looks fucking ridiculous. It's because they all got their samurai swords and their masks, and they look so fucking serious.
Right.
And it looks so stupid, though.
Yeah, and they're in this club where people are like dancing and shit.
Everybody's dancing, having a good time. It's like all Asian. Everybody's like dancing like this. Like,
yeah.
And then
How Asian people dance, clearly.
Yeah. And eventually, that kind of like the cool music cuts off, and it cuts to like the house band music that's playing in the club.
Right.
And it shows them walk upstairs and then enter a room, and then it shows like Uma kind of trailing behind them, like take her helmet off, you know? Like, and now she's in the club, you know?
Oh God, there's gonna be a fight in the club,
dude. The showdown at House of Blue Leaves.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot
they're at House of Blue Leaves.
Yeah, there was
you're wondering where they are.
There was an injury timeout in the middle. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So they all like fucking. So they go up to the room and like they close the door, and then she goes up. Uma Thurman like she kind of sneaks up the stairs.
Right.
And as she's sneaking up the stairs, Uma Thurman she gets all the way up to the door. Like Uma Thurman gets all the way up to the door, and then Lucy Liu like everybody's in her like big office building kind of thing partying, like in her private section partying.
Right.
And then she just hears like a little peek by the door, and then she pulls out like a ninja dart and throws it, and it barely misses Uma Thurman's face. And then right when that happens, her assistant bodyguard she goes, go. And Go jumps up and just jumps outside. And then she's like looking like this. She's got her samurai sword out. And the music's still playing. Nobody. And she's just like looking back and forth for a while. And then the camera slowly pans up. And it's fucking Uma Thurman in the corner of the ceiling holding herself up like this. Like just, it's crazy, dog.
Right. Right,
you know?
She's like, I can't kill this person now. It's
bad. But she's also just like holding herself up in the corner of the ceiling. So, you know? And so the Go-Go character goes back in, like slowly, and the door cuts, and then she like slowly drops herself down, and then she kind of like goes to the bathroom, right? She goes to the bathroom. She takes off her stuff, and she's in there, and she's taking off her motorcycle gear, and
so she decides to regroup pretty much and try to figure out
just regroup and figure out what's going on.
Right.
The assistant, the Sophie character, comes in the bathroom. Uma Thurman doesn't know this, right? So she's in the bathroom changing, and she hears that ringer go off. The ringer that she recognized from the motherfucking getting her ass beat in El Paso. You know? So she hears the ringer, and she peeks her head out, you know? And then she sees her talking, and that alarm shit goes off.
And so we begin.
Yeah, it cuts. It cuts back to into Lucy Liu with all of her team, and they're all like making fun of some guy serving them drinks and how he looks like Charlie Brown.
Right.
And like so that's what and they're all like laughing and making fun of him, you know, whoop de whoop. And then in the middle of that, you hear someone like in Japanese yell, like you hear someone in Japanese yelling, but the words are across the screen, and it's Oren Ishii, we have unfinished business. And it sounds like, but what it sounded like was Omiyara, Otominigayo. Like that's what Uma Thurman's yelling.
Yeah.
And then you hear that was the music nigga in the background, I swear to God. And it gets like louder like that shit. And then like she comes out, like all of Lucy Liu and her like team, they all come out like the doors, like, and they walk out like slowly, and then the whole club is like standing still, and fucking Uma Thurman's got her samurai sword, and she's got Sophie like this, and Sophie's looking up, and the music's getting louder, and then she fucking cuts this bitch's arm off. Boom. And then blood just scoots out, and she's screaming, and the music's getting louder. She's and everybody's still looking at her, like, and then the club just like as she's screaming for her, then the club just like panics and everybody leaves.
Erupts.
And then Uma Thurman never breaks eye contact. She's just fucking looking at
I love
Lucy Liu, and Lucy Liu's looking right at her, and they both at her, both dead face.
Yeah.
Both of them are just like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't give a fuck about you, bitch, and I don't give a fuck about you, bitch.
It seems like Uma Thurman never blinks in this movie.
Pretty much. No, she's pretty pissed.
Yeah.
She's pretty pissed.
Just eyes
Pure
open rage. Yeah. This is not a movie for blinkers.
No.
So Uma Thurman is just staring at Lucy Liu.
Everybody scrambles at the club, and then now the greatest fight scene in movie history happens. This is the greatest fight scene in movie history.
Okay, so this is kind of like that.
What is about to happen in the House of Blue Leaves is the greatest fight scene in movie history, period. To me.
So 'cause she has to fight everyone in her crew.
My nigga. So Lucy Liu sends out one person. She sends out one of the people. It's like 8 to 9 people in her crew, right? She sends out the first one.
Well, yeah, you got to try the Bruce Lee
she sends out
one
the
at a
first
time thing.
And then she just, kills him with ease.
Right.
And then she sends out the other 8, right? Mm-hmm. Slices the first one up. The other 8, she slices through them like fucking, just makes them look bad. Like literally just makes them look like they're not even
they're
fighting.
not on our level.
And then she never, pretty much not breaking eye contact with the Lucy Liu character the whole time.
Not blinking.
It's fucking intense.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, Oren, any more subordinates for me to kill? And then that's when the Go-Go character walks out and she goes, hi, the little 17-year-old crazy girl.
Yeah.
And she's got a motherfucking, those chains?
Yeah.
Spike balls? Those
like maces or whatever?
Yes.
She's got one of those?
Yes.
And she's all like cutesy?
Yes.
That's awesome.
In a schoolgirl outfit.
That's
and she's hot.
Extra awesome.
Yeah.
That's double. And she's only
crazy.
17.
Yes. So hot. So she's like, Go-Go. And then they talk a little shit because she's like, Go-Go, I know you feel you have to protect your mistress. She's like, but I must beg you. Walk away. And then the Go-Go character starts laughing and she goes, you call that begging? She's like, you can beg better than that. And then she drops the ball. And then Uma Thurman character smiles and like gets in the like fighting stance.
Right.
And nigga, she starts swinging that thing. Bro, and then she starts, and then she throws it at her, and then Uma Thurman does a backflip, and then she backflips onto a table.
Right.
And then the whole sound, you just hear that thing going, and then she throws it at her again, another backflip on the table.
Right.
And then she throws it at her again, and like she misses, and then Uma Thurman grabs the table, and then she throws it at her again, and it goes through the table, and then now Uma Thurman has like a peg leg of the table in her hand because it like breaks the table.
Right.
And then she throws it again, and Uma Thurman dodges it and fucking hits it like a baseball.
Right.
Back at her, and of course she dodges it.
Right.
And then it hits her in the back, like as it
comes back around.
It hits her
like
in the back,
boomerangs. Yeah.
and knocks her down.
Right.
And so Uma Thurman tries to jump on her and kill her.
Right.
And then fucking she foots her ass like far off.
Okay.
And then right when she foots her, the fucking Go-Go girl hits a button.
Oh, what?
A button on the mace. And spikes like a sword comes out that bit. Like
what?
It's like a circle, and then something like this. It went king.
Yeah.
Like sharp as, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then now she's spinning, and Uma Thurman knows, and she's like, and then she cuts her up,
Oh, what?
and then she throws it one more time, and then it goes in slow motion, and Uma Thurman's looking at it, and then she ducks.
Yeah.
And then, like, when she raises up, like, it had already come back around and it wrapped around her neck. and then it like hit into some wood, like if it hit into that, well, like
right,
like that.
Like yeah.
And so now, and then she like, and now
so
she
now Uma's
it's
stuck.
wrapped around her neck.
Yeah.
And then the go-go girl starts like folding the chain up, like,
Ooh,
and
that
she's
cool
walking
stuff.
towards
Yeah,
her,
yeah,
and then she's like, and then of course Uma drops to her knees, like looking at her, like her eyes are bloodshot, and it's definitely she's dead.
Yeah.
And then she looks on the ground, and there's that peg that she had from the table.
Yeah.
And there's 3 nails coming of it, and she fucking kicks the bottom of it, like flips that bitch into her hand.
Yeah.
Fucking stabs the bottom of her, like of the go-go girl's foot.
Yeah.
And, like, blood squirts everywhere. She's like, ah! And then she like kind of drops down, and then she fucking right in the
face.
head. Right in the head. And the thing is like the 2x4 thing, like out the nails in the skull, and that thing is just connected to her head like a fucking Bluetooth.
Go.
And then she falls and dies.
Oh, I liked you.
She almost got Uma though. Like
Yeah.
almost.
That's a cool weapon.
It was cool.
It was one of
the dope fight scenes, man.
That's a cool weapon.
Really dope fight scene.
Any weapons that like spin are cool. That's why they twirl the lightsabers in Star Wars.
Because that's cool.
There's no point, but it looks cool.
Looks amazing.
Yeah. There's no way a spinning twirl around defense is a good defense with a lightsaber, but I get it.
So Uma walks up, like Uma like walks back to the center of the club and is looking back up at the private section where where
Is
Oren's
Sophie
at.
alive or dead at this point?
Sophie's still crawling on the ground with
Okay,
one arm.
just arm off, just living her
screaming
life.
Still. Yeah.
Okay.
She's fucked up.
Just doing her.
They panned to her a couple times. She's just on the ground, fucked up.
Right.
So it's only Oren and Uma now, you know, and Oren's like, like she's like, are you ready? Like
Right.
Uma's like, are you ready? And then Oren goes, kind of looks at her, and then you hear like 60 to 80 motorcycles just outside.
Oh shit!
And you start hearing a bunch of feet, like out,
Yeah.
And then Oren says, "You didn't think it was gonna be that easy, now, did you?" And then, like as everybody's running in, like she looks at, she's like, "For a second there, yeah, I kind of did."
It's good banter.
Yeah, good. And then she goes, "Silly rabbit." Tricks, and then they finish, and then she goes silly rabbit, and the other one goes tricks off her, and the other one goes kid. Like they finish each other's sentences,
right?
And then now everyone is in the room, like, and it's the crazy 88. It's her whole army.
It's her whole army.
Yeah. And so the music starts playing, like dope music starts playing, and all of them start like encroaching on her, right?
Right.
And then the music stops, and then she kills the whole fucking army. It's a 20-minute fight scene.
That's crazy.
It's like a 20-minute fight scene.
That's crazy.
Including all the fighting that just happened.
And it's just her running around, dodging,
so it's
backflipping.
So it's in black and white first, right? Because the beginning of the fight, it's still no music playing.
Right.
Beginning of the fight, she fucking pokes a nigga's eye out, right?
Right.
And then right when she pokes that nigga's eye out, it goes black and white for everybody.
Okay.
Right?
That's a cool
really cool
change.
effect. So she's doing that, and then like halfway through the fight, she looks up while she's killing everybody.
Yeah.
She looks up at Oren Ishii, and she stops watching and turns around and like closes the door and like leaves.
Right.
So she notices that, right? So she keeps killing everybody, and about halfway through the fight, the music starts back up, and like it's really cool. Like, and then she gets like another sword, and then she starts doing like the Booker T spin on the floor thing.
Right.
Like if she was breakdancing with the swords and cutting everyone's fucking feet off. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
So she's killing she's cutting heads off, she's poking, she's fucking cutting all kinds of limbs. It's so much blood, it's so gruesome, and it's so cool. I can't explain it just because
it's so much. It's fun.
It's just one of the dopest fight scenes, dude. She kills 80 fucking people. It's insane.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
That's crazy. It would be interesting if Kill Bill 2, I don't know what it's about, but if it had it, because creates really a power vacuum in the Yakuza. So that, in and of itself, is an interesting story. Now, in this world, what happens with the Yakuza?
With the Yakuza, yeah. They don't go into it. They don't, but that's a good question.
Right? Because that is interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she just going, the only guy that was giving her problems the whole fight, through this part of the fight at least, is the Johnny Mo, the general guy. The guy I told you, he's giving her problems. Like, she's killing everybody else, but every time he would pop up,
like she wouldn't kill, but she would fend him off.
She'd fend him off, but she couldn't kill him, and he would get a couple licks in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this nigga knew what he had a couple. Like, he had 2 like these bamboo swords. They were really cool.
I like that.
There were 2 of them.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So he was like, oh, that's cool.
Double swords. Is pretty dope.
And every time, like, so she'd kill a couple people, and then he'd pop back up, hi, and she'd be like, she'd fuck it off, and then she was like running upstairs, and not the stairs. I mean, the banister?
Yeah.
Running up the banister for the stairs.
Did she do that thing where she ran to a wall and did a backflip on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm sure she did.
Okay.
It was so much. She did everything.
She did everything. Hang from a chandelier of some sort.
She did. She jumped down from this cool bamboo rope, and then like as she twirled down, the Johnny Moe character like was looking down at her, and then she like smiled and let it go, and it like snapped back up and hit him in his head and knocked him out.
Okay.
So that's what got rid of him. Knocked him out.
Okay.
Right. It was
So
pretty
she
cool.
wasn't able to kill him.
Yeah. So she like finally it dwindles down to about 9 bad guys, right? And she's like in a different room. And they zoom in on Uma and like they zoom in on her face and she blinks and it's back in color again. Like right? Like everything's back in color. And then right when it comes back in color, they pan to like a club manager, like some random lady, and she hits the lights and everything goes black and you hear techno music. You know?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the fight scene, she kills the guys to like this cool all black techno fight
music.
scene.
That's dope.
So it's another one. Like, dude, it's so sick. It's
The shift in colors was crazy.
so cool.
Between
And so
black
she
and
killed
white
8
anime.
of them, and she's black and white, and then it goes color,
Yeah.
and the techno, and it's all fight, and then it started in color when she was killing them all one by one in the beginning. Like, dude, it was such a long scene.
Right.
So she gets down to 1, right, and she's walking up on them, and you can see the little like you see like a black figure store. You can't see what it's short checking, and then finally the club manager hits the lights, and then right when she's about to cut his head off, like you see it's like a little kid.
Yeah.
It's like a little Asian kid.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then she stops right when she gets to his neck. She looks at him, and he's like, he doesn't move, and then she starts cutting his sword down, like ting, 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 like cuts his sword down all the way till it's like a nub.
Yeah.
And then he looks at her like still shaking, and then he drops it, and then he like lifts his hands up, and then she flips him around. She grabs his hands, flips him around, bends him over her knee, and she goes, "This is what you get for fucking around with the Yakuza.
She
Go home to
spanks
your
him?
mother." She spanks the shit out of him with a Hattori Hanzo.
That's so fucking
Comes out of
awesome.
nowhere, and
Yeah.
then and then it shows him like running, like crying, like
Yeah.
holding his butt, crying
Yeah.
through a sea of bloody dead people. It's a really cool shot. It's a really like funny, like oh my god, Tarantino. It's such a cool Tarantino like.
That's so great. That's a very funny Tarantino moment. It's a classic Tarantino
Like
moment.
just all that blood and death in this silly moment
And it's
running through
spanking.
it.
This
you
fucking
know?
spanking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny? I can tell the parent advocate groups that watch this movie probably hated that part more than the killing. You can't hit your kids. You can't hit children. You can kill people as long as they're Yakuza. You can't hit children.
So Uma finally, she goes back outside to all like the dead bodies and everybody like screaming, and she stands over like all of them where like Lucy Liu was standing earlier, and she screams, you know, if you're lucky enough to still have your limbs, no, she said if you're lucky enough to still be alive, you can go. You know, but if you lost any of your limbs, they're mine now. I own them. You leave them here. But you can go. So you see all these people like crawling out like with like no legs or no arm or like it's crazy like a
Right.
fucking Saving Private Ryan scene. And then you see the Sophie character start crawling out and she goes, "Except for you, Sophie." And Sophie looks up and she's like, "You stay right there." And she's like, "No!" She's like screaming. And then Uma turns around coldly, like walks away like, "Bitch, I know you're not gonna run."
Yeah.
And then you hear her keep screaming like, "Please!" Like, it's such a power move, dude. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
I'm not even gonna kill you. You just can't move from
You
that
don't
spot.
get to move. You wait. I'm not done with you yet. I gotta talk to you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh my god. So she then goes and turns back into the door that Oren went into earlier, right?
Yeah.
When she walked away. She opens it. The Winter Wonderland.
Okay, that's the scene.
That's the scene.
That's
you
the
saw.
scene I've seen.
So she opens it and just out of nowhere, there's this beautiful Asian Winter Wonderland.
Yeah.
And Oren slowly walks up.
She's in white.
She's all in white.
That's
Lucy
how
Liu.
you- yeah.
And she walks up and she says, "Your instrument," in English, "your instrument's quite impressive," you know? And she's like, "Where did you get it?" And then she's like, Uma's like, "It's a Hattori Hanzo steel." And then she goes, "You lie." But she says it in like Japanese. She goes like, "Eske."
Yeah.
And then Uma like flashes her the Hattori Hanzo symbol, which is on the sword. Like she does like this, and then, like you zoom in on it, and it's like this cool like dragon symbol on the sword. And then like she goes, like she's like, you know, you can see like she proves it, and then the Lucy Liu character goes like, "Well, no matter." She's like, "It doesn't matter," and tells her what a blue, like she like looks around. She's like, "Man, what a beautiful place." This is the Lucy Liu character.
Right.
What a beautiful place you get to die in. And then she starts kicking off her, she kicks off her little flip flops, and then the music starts playing, like to let you know, like, oh
Yeah,
shit,
here it comes.
And then she slowly pulls out her sword, and the Uma Thurman character pulls out her sword, and they're just like eyeing each other down,
Right.
You know, and then they have a fucking another
Crazy fight.
awesome fight scene,
Yeah.
dude. But like by two bads, so they're going back and forth.
Right.
Back and forth. Ching, 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 ching.
I guess what's the big difference between this and the Vivica A. Fox one?
They have the samurai swords.
Oh, they both have samurai swords.
Yeah, they're going samurai. Yeah, this is a
samurai.
samurai sword battle.
Okay,
This is
okay.
a straight samurai sword
This is the
battle.
first straight samurai sword. battle.
This is straight up one-on-one. We going samurai swords, head up. Who's better?
Yeah.
So they're going back and forth, and they kind of they lean back and they respect each other for a second, like look back, and then they go at it again, and then the Lucy Liu character cuts her real deep in the back, like slices her back up, like crazy deep, and then the Uma Thurman, she falls to the ground, and then the Lucy Liu character starts talking shit, nigga.
Yeah.
Just starts talking shit. She goes, silly Caucasian girl likes to play with samurai swords.
Oh, shut up, half white.
Oh yeah, right.
Motherfucker.
And then she goes, you might not be able to fight like a samurai, but at least you get to die like a samurai. And then the Uma Thurman character, like, it shows her face, and she looks fucking clearly insulted by the comment.
Right.
Like, insulted.
Right.
And then gets up slowly, and they go back at it, and then Uma slices this bitch's leg off, almost. Like, slices her leg.
Right.
And then so you see the Lucy Liu character kind of, like, back off, and now they're both kind of stumbling. They back off, and then she's like, and then you see all her, like, white dress just get bloody as fuck down her, like, right leg, right?
Right.
And then she's looking at her, and then she says, literally in Japanese, like the Orin character, like looks kind of like bewildered now, and she goes, "I sincerely apologize for the samurai remark." In Japanese, and she says it dead seriously, like I sincerely, like that was across the line. I know I killed you with your daughter, but what I just said, Jesus, I feel bad.
Yeah,
I just said it.
I'm white too. What did I? Yeah.
Well, no, just the samurai line.
Yeah,
just
I know.
You get to like.
I know, but I was hoping she had a little bit more.
I don't think so.
Self-awareness.
I mean, she did kill her daughter. So they, fucking, like she politely, she does the, apologize for the samurai remark. The Uma Thurman character like says like she accepts her apology. Like she says to like I accept your apology.
Right.
And then she waits, and they're both kind of breathing heavy, and then Uma Thurman goes like, "Are you ready?" Like nicely, like you could tell it's like a moment of like respect, and then she nods, and then they fucking go back at it again, and then they fight, and then they have this cool scene where like they break off, and then they're running along this fence, like looking at each other, like Wilson kind of, like right, and then they get to the other fence, and then it's like you just hear shing, and then you see like all Lucy Liu's hair fly, right?
Yeah.
And then you pan back to Lucy Liu, and it's her face, and then she goes, and it's like soft music playing, and you see the Uma Thurman character like this, like with her sword out, like, like looking off, and then the Lucy Liu character goes, in Japanese, that really was a Hattori Hanzo steel. But she goes, Hataka. And then she drops to her knees, and you notice the top of her head is completely sliced off. Like brain, it looks completely like butter slice, And then she falls to the ground, and then the Uma Thurman character like drops her sword, and then she just goes and sits down, and she just rests for a while.
That's crazy. That's also a good Home Improvement reference in the middle of that crazy fight scene.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very different vibe than Kill Bill.
So the next scene, it shows Uma Thurman in a car, and she crosses off. It's back to the list, and then she crosses off Orin.
Right.
So you see her crossing off the first name.
First
now.
one, yeah.
Yeah. And she is then, it shows her putting the assistant, the Sophie girl, in the trunk of a car.
Right.
And then it shows her pulling up to a hospital, like on top of like a hill, like a hill.
Right.
You don't see a hospital, you see a hill.
Right.
And then you see her go to the trunk, pull the Sophie character out, throw her down the hill, like a huge hill. She rolls all the way down this hill, and then into a hospital parking lot. And so you see like she's there for a while, and then like a ambulance pulls up and like saves her, and then they rush her in there. And so then it cuts to the next scene. The next scene is Sophie, close up on her. She's got IVs, and she's sitting in like a wheelchair.
Right.
She's kind of crying. She's apologizing, and then you see white hands like grab her shoulder. And then Bill goes, "Oh, Sophie, my poor sweet Sophie. Like, oh my." Look what he did. Look what she did to my Sophie. Like you keep hearing that.
Right.
It's like really creepy, dog.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he's being really sweet to her, like really sweet, and she keeps apologizing.
Sophie's gonna die.
Yeah, she keeps apologizing. I'm so sorry. I said things. And he's like, oh, don't worry. Okay. What did she do to you, Sophie? Tell me everything. And then it flashes back to Sophie, and she's in the trunk.
Yeah.
And it's, she's got all the yellow on, the motorcycle outfit. She's got the helmet on again. Uma Thurman. Yeah. And she tells her, she's like, you're gonna give me answers, Sophie. And then Sophie's like, fuck off, or something like that, Yeah. And then she goes, and every time you don't give me answers, I'm cutting off another limb. And then the Sophie character's like, what? And then you hear her say, like, it pans back, the camera like pans back to the car, and you hear her yell like, give me your other arm. And Sophie's like, no, give me your other arm. And he's like, no, and then And then like you can tell she gets all her information. Like it kind of like
Right. She gets the information. From
you don't know. It doesn't say, but you know. And then she goes Bill's. She and then, like because she goes Bill's gonna ask you why. Well, Bill asks her like why. Like it cuts back to it, and then Bill goes, you know, do you know, Sophie? You know, I understand if you don't, but do you know possibly why she kept you alive? And then Sophie goes, she told me I could keep my wicked life for 2 reasons. And then it flashes back again, and she's like, I'm letting you keep your wicked life for 2 reasons. And she goes, the first is I want all the information on the deadly Viper assassination squad, where they live, what they've been up to, what every single thing they've been doing since the El Paso murders.
Right.
And she was like, and the second reason I'm letting you keep your wicked life, and she was like, I want everyone to know. I want them to all know I'm back. I want them to all see your deformed body. I want them to see every limb missing on you. I want Bill to know.
How many limbs are missing?
You don't know.
Okay. Oh, geez.
You never know. You don't know how many things she ended up cutting off of her. It's sick. And then she's like, but I want everyone to know that they're all soon will be as dead as Oren. Right?
Yeah.
And they cut away.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, you don't know this. At the time, you don't know this, but they show scenes from the next one.
That's crazy.
Like right there, so they cut to, and it's the character, it's Bill's brother,
right.
Bud. You don't know this, and it's Michael Madsen. And he's sitting like in front of an RV, and he goes, "That woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die." And then it cuts to the L driver lady, the lady with the tattoo, and she's on the phone with the eye patch, and she goes, "She must suffer till her last breath," right? And then it cuts back to Sophie and them in the hospital. But you don't know that you're just like, what the fuck were those scenes? Right. But they're scenes, like those are crucial scenes in Volume 2.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Right.
So they cut back to Sophie and Bill, and there's music starting to play louder and louder now. And Bill says, Sophie, does she know that her daughter is still alive?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yep, that's it. Whole movie. That's Kill Bill, dog.
What the fuck?
Let's Kill Bill.
What?
What'd you think?
What?
Yeah, dude, we got to do Volume 2. Like now, I'm just excited to do Volume 2.
What? That's so crazy. What? That's so crazy.
So good. So good.
And she has 2 more people on her list, or a few more people on her list.
She's got 3 more people on her list, homie.
Oh man, she didn't even meet Bill. I thought she met Bill at this movie.
No, you never see Bill. You don't even know, but you don't even know it's David Carradine yet.
Oh, you don't even know it's David Carradine? Oh wow.
You never see him the whole movie.
Oh wow.
I thought you see his hands.
Yeah.
You see him with the sword. You see in the beginning you see his boots, but I thought you never see him.
Oh.
You don't see him till the. Well, I'm not even gonna say.
Okay, well, yeah, I want to know. Well, you'll tell me later
at some point. Never watch Kill Bill Volume 2 till we get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there at some point.
That's so funny if I can't know what happens, because now I'm like, what the fuck? Her daughter's still alive? They're still like, that's a whole thing. That's like a thing.
Yeah. One of the best movies, top 5, maybe top 10, top 10, maybe top 5, but it's in there.
I'm emotionally spent. I'm physically tired. I can see why you.
I caught a cramp.
Yeah, you did catch.
I caught a cramp for y'all, niggas. You see me, Tarantino? A cramp, dog. That's how good the movie was. I caught a goddamn cramp.
See you next week.
We out here.